Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Nadesh Mulu, a content creator based in Yaoundé, Cameroon. If it's your first time to come across this cute, beautiful, pregnant girl, no woman. If it's your first time to come across this channel, please consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Please don't mind the noise. I've waited for so long to do this video. Either the Muslims were praying, either they're hitting from there, either one thing or the other is always happening. So at this point I have just decided to go ahead with the video. So in today's video we're talking about how I found out I was expecting baby number 2 and my infertility journey that lasted for almost a year. Yes, I went through it. I can't believe, but that was it before I got to this point. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let's get into the video. Okay guys, welcome back to the video. Yeah, we took a short break. So guys, for now it's funny, but at that moment it wasn't funny. So we'll start with the infertility journey, how it came about, what happened, and how I finally conceived. Before this, I've never tried to have a child. Like my first child, it was so easy. Like, you just apply negative, positive, come together, and everything is well. The child comes. So that was it. And my partner and I planned that when my son is like 6 or 7, like when my son is 8 months, we will try for a second baby. So I was okay with that. So when I was 6 months, he was like, let's try. I was like, no, I wasn't ready mentally. I was like, no, I can't at this point. No, this child first is not giving. Like, he was a lot. So when we actually started trying when I was 8 months, the first month you don't need to stress yourself, nothing. We started trying when I was 7, the first month, nothing. Second, 8 months, when he was 8, 9. When my son first child was 11 months, I realized I've been trying for 4 months. I'm like, there's something wrong. Like, why should I try for up to 4 months and nothing is happening? So I was like, okay, let me go to the hospital and check what is it. So the first hospital I went, it was a recommendation. They told me it was the best gynecologist you can find in Yaoundé. He was so good. They hyped him so much. So I went there, and the line, like, I hate to go to crowded hospitals. The man had a lot of patients. Like, women were there as. That's why I understood that they all have problems. We all have problems. So always be grateful. I don't know why I'm diverting, but I want to say this, guys. If you conceive so easily, always be grateful. Even if it takes time, but be grateful. Just be grateful in all what you go through. Especially if it's easy for you. What you think is normal, like eating 3 times a day, you think it's normal. It's not normal for some people. Getting pregnant, as easy as you take in, is not easy for some people too. So when I went to that man, we did a lot of exams. Nothing was negative, and we went for ecography. We did ecography, and when the result came out, he told me my uterus haven't gone back to its initial position. I'm like, this is close to a year I've given birth. Like, how come my uterus haven't gone back? I didn't understand the terms she gave me. He was like, it haven't gone back properly. That's why I'm finding it a bit difficult. But I'm fine. I'm okay. I should not stress myself. I will conceive. So I was like, okay, then that's good. But I was like, how come my uterus have not gone back? So I just went ahead with my day, with my life. So when my first child turned 40 months and then like 40 months, like it wasn't happening still. I started being worried. I went After that, like 2 months later or a month later, I don't remember very well, I missed my period. Like, okay, I missed my period for over 10 days. My period was not coming. So I was so confident that this is a baby. Like, what? I was so happy. I was sure. I was so sure that when my son clocks 2, I will have another baby. That was my dream. Like, I wanted to have, like, when my son is 2, immediately he's 2, I have a different baby. Or I have before, like 1 month or 2 months before. So that moment, I was so happy, excited. 10 days, not, I did 3 pregnancy tests at home and it was all negative. So I asked, like, why is it negative then? This thing is not coming. And guys, when you start thinking you're pregnant, you have all the signs. I started feeling like I'm tired, nausea. I started even feeling the baby moving in my womb. I started feeling movements, like everything was like I'm pregnant. So that's what happened. And finally, I was just like, let me go and check. Let me go and do echography. Somebody advised me to do blood tests. I was not patient enough, so I just went for echography. Woo! And that was where all my hopes went down. So going for echography, I just thought it was not recommended by any doctor. So when I went, they say, why do I want to do echography? I just said, I think I'm pregnant and I want to know how things go, like the development. So when I went, the man said, okay, no problem. The man said, no problem. So I laid down everything. He checked, and guys, that man, the doctor, was a doctor who said, but he was so harsh. So because I told him that I think I was pregnant, he checked it and he was like, no, you're not pregnant. I'm seeing fibroid. Like, in such a harsh manner, like in such a harsh tone that I was like, just imagine. So when he told me that, I was so he wanted to continue. I just said, please, can I go? And I left. I was so angry. I went inside my car and I cried. I cried for like less than 5 minutes. But I said to myself, like, why am I crying? I am not barren. I have a son already. I should just be grateful to God. That was it. And I came back home. I started feeling some pains again, like little pelvic pains, all kind of. So I went again to a different doctor. This was now because of the pains I was feeling. It was nothing. But when I went there, I explained to her that I wanted to have a different child and it was not forthcoming. She told me that we consider it as infertility when it had gone for almost 6 months of trying. I was like, since my son turned 7, he's 14 months, I've been trying. I think it's more than 6 months. So she said, okay, let's try this new one. So I did everything and all the exams again, and it was still negative. So we did even now this pelvic ecography, vaginal ecography. I don't know, that one they insect it down. It's no more the ecography. You see, they insect it down and they check everything. She was like, everything is fine. And I told her that the last doctor I saw told me I had fibroid. That I was still small, because the man was like, it's still very small. So she asked me to bring the ecography pictures. So when I brought it to her, she said no, that was just a little clot of blood that had clotted and it has come out. That's not. I told her, then I explained to her that yes, that I think like 2 weeks after it, I saw a lot of like thick blood coming out to white. So I explained to her everything, and she was like, that was it and it's out. So at that point she said, from the ecography they did now, I don't have fibroid, I'm fine. Like, I asked a question about the fibroid, like how do you how do I get, like, cause, like I asked her what were the causes of that clotted blood or fibroid that was about to start. She was telling me that most women have it after childbirth. So it develops. Sometimes there's no cause. Sometimes there's no cause. It just comes from family history. And from my family history as well, I noticed that most of my sisters had fibroid. So I was like, I think this one is genetic, because most of my sisters face it. Even though it's not prevent them from giving birth, but they had it. So that was it, what she told me. And but she told me that thank God mine have gone, and she just prescribed a little thing, something like one ovule that I should use, that then I should come back to her. So that was it, and boom, I don't think 2 months, but I stopped trying intentionally. You get me? I stopped when, like, every month now, when my son was like, because I took in January, yeah, I think. But before that January, from November, I stopped trying. I was like, anything, like sometimes my period will take like 10 days, will not come, and I will not use a pregnancy test. I will not use anything, and it will come by itself. So I was at that point where I was like, I'm not using anything, I'm not trying anything. I am not, if I'm pregnant, I will know. When it will skip for 2 months, I will know I'm pregnant. This thing I'm not stressing myself. I'm not feeling too much anxiety. You know, anxiety is not also good. Anxiety is good to be a child, but seriously, anxiety can take you all over. Like, it can make your emotion to be all over the place. So at that point, I was not more anxious about anything. But bring your request to God. My requests were already in front of His table, so I knew everything would be fine at the perfect time. So that's how, from October, when I miss my period 10 days, I don't do anything and it will come by itself. November, it came by itself. December, so it was just like, I was already used to. I was no more like, when I see my period, I'm angry. I'm just like, okay, it's okay. You've seen it, you've seen it. You've not seen it, you've not seen. So that was it. So let's go to the part 2 of this. Part 2 is how I found out I was pregnant. Hey, this, this is the part that maybe you've been waiting. So how did I find out I was pregnant? Oh, I think it's February. So I missed my period as normal. It went for 10 days, 11 days, 12 days. I was like, okay, 15 days, 20 days. I didn't see it. Like, the whole February was coming to an end and I was not seeing it. I was like, bro, sis, where are you? Just come. I know you're somewhere. Please, I don't want to try something. So I don't know. I felt like, what is this? Might be the good news. So I went to the pharmacy, bought a tube, a pregnancy test. I bought something for, normally I used to buy the one for 1,250, but this one I wanted it to be clear. I don't know why I went for something that was, it was not really expensive, but it was like 3,500 or 4,000 compared to the one I used to get. The one I used to get was 1,000, 1,250, because I'm like, let me try. But this one I went for the one for 3,500 or 4,000. I don't remember again, because I was like, I want things to be clear. I got up that next morning. I didn't tell my guy, my husband. I got up very early and I went to the bath. The first pee, I peed and I prayed first. Like, I was like, Father Lord, please, this time around, I don't want something that will shock me. I don't know why I'm even doing this, but please help me. Feel my heart beat. I could feel my heart beat. I was like, why did I decide to do this? And I didn't tell my husband that I was trying a pregnancy test, that I had a pregnancy test, because he was like, after all that, he was like, sis, just relax. He's not that kind of anxious person that you do the do and things will come out. It was all obvious to come out. So when I was always worried, he was like, I don't know why you're worried, and you're not barren. I don't know why. What do you think those who do not even have will do? So I don't want to get him all over again, take him. So I just went to the bath and I peed. Guys, behold, I took the strip, whatever, I put it, and I was like, I was shivering. I just left him, and I didn't even wait up to 1 minute. I came to the room. I didn't wait up to 1 minute. I was like, no, let me go and check. So as I just went and checked, guys, I saw 2 lines. Hey, I'm like, what is it? I checked it again. I'm like, no, let me allow, maybe the line will disappear. I would think that's how excited I was already. I was happy. So After like 2 minutes, the lines were cleared, 2 double lines. I just came here and he was sitting. He just looked at me and said, "What is it?" I started crying. I was having a parents' day. I started crying, and while crying, he just hugged me and I just showed him that we are pregnant that we were expecting. He was so happy. Like I was happy. I cried for like 30 minutes. Thanking God. It was like I've never experienced this. It was like it was my first time. I was so happy. I'm still so very happy and emotional. I cried. That was the beginning of my cry pregnancy, because all over this pregnancy I've been crying for nothing. You just do anything and cry. You just say anything to me, I cry. That's my life now. Crying. So that was it, and that's how I found out I was having baby number 2. Thank you so much for watching. Which part was more interesting? Have you learned something? Yeah, I don't think you have not learned. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in my next video.